Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Okay, this is a very important video. I want you to sit down. I want you to get a cup of tea or coffee, whatever, and just let's chat, because I think that we're all facing a very interesting challenge in the world right now, and particularly how we are going to survive, and thrive in turbulent times. And I've got some ideas. I've got some really practical ideas, things that we can do together, and I really want to share them with you. Now, there's so much uncertainty in our world right now, right? There's no getting away from it, that it's not just United States, it's all over the world. There's just a lot of, disruption being caused, I think, personally, by social media and all the things that people are able to communicate, whether it's true or false information, and influence people sitting in their homes, to not properly get the whole picture. So I think there's a very disruptive element of uncertainty all around the world. Now, I know in the United States in particular, we've got a huge focus with a new president. But I think we all have to keep remembering that 50% of the population voted the other way. So we've got a really split population in the US. So it's no good giving up, because I think there's an equal opportunity both ways. Yes, there's some things in the inequities in the government structure and whatever, but that's all. I don't want to get into specifics. We're afraid. There is no getting away from it that we are afraid. We're feeling that will we survive? Will we get through this mentally, emotionally, physically? So it's all very well to say, Margaret, let's thrive in 25. And it sounds so upbeat and cute and wonderful, but it's not. Thriving is like not the opposite, but it runs alongside the whole world of surviving. Surviving is about getting by. Thriving is about flourishing, despite the challenges. So we've got to be resilient. Now, this is a huge quality, I think, that we as older women have over really any other demographic. I think we've been through the Cuban Missile Crisis, Martin Luther King, John Lennon. We've done all the tragedies and the sadness, and we've dealt with them. So I think we as older women are in a very unique, strong position to help. We can't succumb ourselves to insecurities and fear. We can have those feelings because they're natural, but we really should keep moving on. We've got to keep a growth mindset, a positive mindset, and an adaptability mindset. Now, we can embrace uncertainty and still reframe it as possibility. There's still opportunities to, not just change people's minds, but to live through your own beliefs and put your values at the very beginning. And I think that's where I want to go for just a second, because I think if we have our values lined up and we have them in some kind of a priority order, then we can say, this is what we're doing. Let them do whatever they want. Let them do it. It's like the Mel Robbins book. Just let them. And we, with our own set of values, can impact change, impact a better way forward. I'm not saying, let them do it and just give up. The let them allows you to let you do what you can do. And there are things that you can do. And you know this. I'm not just talking about the States now, by the way. I'm talking about the whole world, because it's up and down. And as I said, resilience is, feeling overwhelmed and feeling scared and surviving is just getting by. Do you want to just do that for the next 4 or 5 years? Or do you want to flourish and grow and make something beautiful of your life? I think it's really important. Now, I'm reading from my notes today on my computer because my printer ran out of ink. I started to print my little script, or not script, my talking points, and it ran out of ink. So I'm going to just make sure. So list your 5 core values right now. What are they? What are the core things that drive you? Compassion, honesty, integrity, creativity. What are the things that are your values that are most important to you? Everything else, if anyone else is embodying different values than that, let them. Not let them. It's not that you don't want them to change, or you don't want them to not stop their ways or change their ways, but just let them. You can't control it. There is nothing you can do. Be stoic, because we've talked about that before. And if you want to go back and read some of the talks I've done on stoicism, I think you'll find is very aligned. You've got to think about your own values, and you've got to build resilience through habits. Okay? Now, if you get up in the morning, every morning, and you read the news and you start to panic, and you have a cup of coffee and you get worried and freaking out, that's not it. So build some habits into your life that are going to help you. So even if it is something as simple as getting up, having good sleep, exercise, do some stretching in the morning, go for a walk, have a good breakfast. Even if it's something like you do it in a kind of almost rhythmic, ritualistic way. Like, I must be honest, I do this. I sleep, I get up from my sleep about usually 5. I go and I make a cup of tea and I have a biscuit with it. And then I sit down and I do some meditation and some quiet thinking. I do some answering of my email. I do my notes on Instagram. I do some work stuff. And then I get up and I have a bowl of granola. And in that bowl of granola, I have granola with pecans, which I love. And I have yogurt, fresh fruit like strawberries or raspberries, and this creamy, it's kind of like a creamy milk by Oatly. It's a plant-based drink. And I put that on there. And that's my breakfast. And I feel by the end of that, and I have a coffee. And by the end of that hour, I'm kind of like grounded in me, So I think that's the first thing. Ground yourself in you by some actually practical tips. The next thing is to make friends. Get some community of people together that share your values. Now, you may have 5 values that are absolutely non-negotiable. They may have only 3 of your 5. You got to decide. Is there enough of a connection there? Or are the big ones you don't align with? Then you have to let them go. Now, here's where I'm going to do a little pitch, because I think that 60andMe is really amazing as a community. Now, for those of you who were here about 5 years ago or 4 years ago, we got through the pandemic. How do we do it? We actually met daily. Now, I don't think I can manage to meet daily. I just, right now in my life, with my physical situation, with just with everything I'm doing, I can't meet daily. But we do have live shows Monday and Wednesday. And this is if you're part of our Patreon supporters group. Okay, now I don't pitch stuff normally. I don't. But our Patreon group is what supports us. I mean, we are a company that doesn't charge at all for our content. This video, the thousands of videos I've done, everything was free. Everything is free. Our yoga videos are free. Our games tabs stuff is free. Everything. So we use our Patreon supporters' donations to make us successful, keep us in business. And there's a lot of more going on now in 60andMe than there was back in the pandemic, as you can imagine. But anyway, so if you join, $3 a month, it's the angel level, and you can join our Patreon supporters group chats Monday and Wednesday, and I might even do one on Friday. I'm thinking about that, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that's where we just sit down for an hour. We call it the Friendship Lounge. It's actually the live show, for Patreon, but they call it, the group's made its identity known in this group. We have about 50 people that come on a regular month or bi-weekly basis, and they know each other. We know each other. We talk. We share. Now, we don't go into politics. We politics or religion. We've kind of made that choice altogether. But we do talk about stuff we're going through, medical issues, family issues, travel issues, life issues. And we just share. We just chat for an hour on Monday, Wednesday. And so if you're part of the Patreon group, you can be part of that. And I think that is what my offering, instead of the daily daily shows that we did for the pandemic. So that's an option for you. It's patreon.com, Patreon, patreon.com. Printer, you can be quiet after messing up on me there. .com/60andme, all words or letters. Okay, so that's just, I'm not telling you have to do it. You must do it. That's not the only way to build community, because you've got your own worlds that you live in. By the way, these people are traveling together. We're doing 3 trips this year. We've got people literally driving to each other to meet. Arizona, we have a lot of women, and they get together physically, coffee. And then in the Northeast, we have some people too. They went to Niagara Falls as a little group. I mean, really, it's a really cool group. Anyway, I digress a little bit, but it's important. Community is going to get us through this. When you talk about, thriving, it's going to be thriving and flourishing. I love that word, flourishing, in a world that's giving us some very black and white shadows. You know, we can shine a light on this. And we have Diana. Every time I think of Diana, one of our people in the group, told me about sparkling. This is a couple of years ago. And every time I use the word sparkle, the name Diana comes into my mind. But it's not just that. It's just that, you know, we play makeup together. We play, you know, we have little guests on now and again. And it's all about just establishing a resilient community. Okay, enough of that. The most important thing for you to do, I think, is to leverage a growth mindset. That whatever we're going through right now, we've been there before, we've done it all. It's going to get heavy in the States. I absolutely agree. And I watch the news myself, and I sometimes have to step away from it and go, oh, this will pass. And I kind of mean it. But I think there's some changes that the other party needs to make, for sure. And I'm not going to say which side I'm on, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What it really matters is I love you guys unconditionally, black or white, yellow or green, pink or gray. I don't care. And then whichever party you are, whatever religion you are, I really, truly don't care. I just care about us and the strength that we can achieve together by just lifting those things, lifting those differences, and focusing on the common elements. We're aging. Hey, girls, we're getting a little older here. This is this is a serious business. We've got to stay healthy. We've got to stay well. We've got to take small steps every day to have a big impact. And that's the thing, you know, micro goals. I think there's a book called Atomic Habits. I mean to read that book. I must read it. But a couple of other notes I've made down here, which just to throw out, it's a long video, but we'll just keep going, is that financial preparedness, get your finances in order, get all your papers in order. It's really important. You know, I think there's ways to be creative with making money, and, you know, to think outside the box. I will share this story. I won't tell the name of the person. I'll call her Sue. This person I met for the first time yesterday, just a connection. And we were chatting, and she was telling me about her divorce. And she's a little younger than me. And I think she's only 60, but she was saying how hard it is. Her husband's not giving her very much space to work on things. And she's got 3 children. One of them special needs, lots of complexity in her life. And I said, well, how are you making money these days? And she says, well, I'm working in a restaurant. And I said, wow, that's hard work. And she goes, yeah, but that's all I could find. And I said, well, do you like it? She goes, no, I hate it. So I said, well, have you thought of other things? She goes, no. And she's a strong woman. It's not like she's not a strong woman. She said, I said, what do you like to do? She goes, well, I like to bake. I like to make cakes and scones. And she got really into this conversation about cakes and scones. And I thought, stop. I said, why don't you, you're in a community. Why don't you make cakes? And I explained to her this little video I'd seen where this woman had made like mini cakes, like in a little coffee tins, like mini ones like this. And she had them all in a little tray, and they had separate little decorations on the top. And they were so cute. And like mini cakes. And I said to her, why don't you do something like that? Go to your local cafes and say, I'll sell you 10 a day. You'll probably sell 100. Anyway, and she was like, oh, well, that's an interesting idea. And it was like thinking you can make money in different ways than you don't have to be feeling trapped by the anxiety of the world that is spinning around us. You don't have to take second best if you don't want to. But anyway, I guess I've rambled on too long here. I told you to get a cup of tea and coffee. It was going to be long. Oh, guys, I'm so grateful for you. And thank you for letting me, talk about our thriving in difficult times. I appreciate, Carol, by the way, if you're watching, I appreciate you mentioning this in the terms that you did, because I think it is easy to slip into a trivial kind of comment about, oh, let's thrive in 25. But it's hard. It's hard right now. We'll get there. We'll do it. We'll do it together. Okay? Deal. Please, if you like this video, will you do me a huge favor, like it on YouTube? If you don't like it, that's okay too. You can leave a comment. But if you actually want to help us share, please join and subscribe to this channel. I know that we've got 260 something thousand followers, but I want you guys I'm talking to right now, because I know you are my sisters, to join and follow us on YouTube. It's going to be, I think, the channel that's strongest. We're so fortunate to already be here, but give us some help. I appreciate it. Join the Patreon group if you want some friends. I'm serious. Patreon.com/60andme, all letters. I love you guys. Have a fabulous day wherever you are. Lots of love. Bye.